It's Wine Wednesday and we haven't had a red for a while, so today my favorite person, Kathy Marson, is going to introduce all of us to a Nero d'Avola. Hello.
Hello, but you've never heard of this one before, have you?
I haven't, and
well,
I actually felt a little silly and I wasn't going to tell you, but now you got it out.
Well, no one's ever heard of it because this is the very first time there's been a Nero d'Avola from South Africa.
Oh, I feel so much better.
Yeah, no one's ever heard of this. It's an experimental, well, it's not experimental wine. It's the first time it's been made here. And this comes from the Bosman guys, and they are very big on. They have one of the biggest vine nurseries in this country. So they plant lots of different grape varieties and they try them out and see how they go. And this is a grape variety that the one of the owners of Bosman is very much sort of keen on. He loves it. He's in a harvest over there. And he just felt, and I think he's right, that it would work very, very well here in South Africa. Yeah. So there we are, and I'm saying he's done a vintage over there. I haven't said where it's actually from. It's originally an Italian grape.
Okay.
So you can tell it. So it's Nero d'Avola. It's the black grape from Avola.
Okay.
Is basically how it works out.
Well, that makes sense.
So, and it comes from Sicily originally, and he spent a sort of a vintage there and worked with it and loved it. And I think it's got a great future here in South Africa. So should we see what you think?
Let's give it a bash.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm being rude. I'm pouring for myself.
No, that's fine. It's very interesting. A lot of people get very confused over Italian names on labels. I don't know if you're a big Italian wine drinker, but they tend to do this quite a lot. Whenever you see an Italian label and it's got something with a D in the middle, so, you know, Montepulciano d'Abruzzo,
right,
or Brunello di Montalcino, the first word is always the grape variety. And the second word is always the area that it comes from.
I knew that.
Okay, well done. Congratulations to you. Let's have a taste.
Cheers.
And yeah, cheers to that. Well done. Gosh, that's nice.
That is a nose full of fruit.
Absolutely. It's red berries and blackberries. Very lovely. Wow. That really is lovely.
It is nice and a bit complex.
Yeah, but it's also, it's not heavy, it's got a lovely acidity. And this is what you find from all Italian red grape varieties, that they have very high natural acidity, which is perfect for us here in South Africa because we're a very hot country. So we often have to add acid to our wines just to balance them out a little bit. And how cool is it if we can get grape varieties that have got very high natural acidity and then we don't need to bother? Saves us money, makes a more balanced wine. And I think, you know, things like this from the southern part of Italy and from Greece as well, these are the future. We should plant more of these things.
I have a question for you. Why does wine never smell like grapes?
Well, because the grapes that we eat are not actually varieties that we turn into wine. So the flavours that we associate with grapes, most grapes are that we eat are kind of the muscat varieties. So if you drink a muscat wine, a muscadel wine, it does smell and taste of grapes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but that's very, very distinctive flavours that are associated with the muscat grapes, which are our eating grapes. And eating grapes and winemaking grapes are very different.
I've eaten winemaking grapes.
And they're not always nice, are they?
Sometimes they're nice.
Yeah, and sometimes they're a little
Sometimes
bit
they're not.
tough. I know. Particularly like red grape varieties, they can be very, very tannic and quite dry and quite bitter because you have a lot of thick skins on there. But that's what they're made for. They're made to be made into wine. They're not made for table grapes. So it's a very big difference. So what we have as a table grape, taste of those muscatty, perfumey, grapey kinds of things. And only wines made from those grape varieties will taste like that. Most of the things taste of everything else under the sun, but not what we associate with grapes.
Learn something new every day.
There you go.
We've paired this Italian varietal wine with a classic lasagna.
How could we not? I mean, seriously.
Italian, come on, it's an Italian wine.
Absolutely, but you know, this is it's juicy, it's got lovely acidity, it's fresh. It's not a heavy, you know, massively complex sort of contemplative wine. These are still fairly youngish vines, so I think it'll get more interesting as we get more and more vintages of this. And really, who doesn't like lasagna? I mean, lasagna is a great thing to have. It's a Friday night wine. You could do this with a pizza as well, and I think it would go really nicely.
Yeah, cheers to Wine Wednesday.
Absolutely. There we go.
Can't wait to see you next week.